So I'm back. This is an update. Pretty much continuation of a lot of the themes in my older videos. Predominantly talking about walking, breathing, and maybe fungal infections too. One thing I've been doing while I've been healing from my all my injuries I've spoken about before. My pec was actually torn, and it's just now I can feel it scarring over to kind of complete the tendon. It was torn at the tendon, I think. But I had my SI joint problem and my upper back. So I've been taking it easier on the lifting or the gym, CrossFit for the last month or more than a month by now, but especially the last month. But I still need to get some kind of exercise in. I still need to move. So what I've been doing is walking a lot. And this kind of period that I've been taking, I've taken it as a holistic healing time rather than instead of just my injuries, my musculoskeletal injuries. I've also been trying to fix things like my acne and my fungal infections, which I have several. I got athlete's foot, I got toenail fungus, and some of my acne actually is fungus, like this thing right here. Probably noticed it in one of my old videos. Whenever you have a lot of the kind of red spots that you get that don't actually form into whiteheads or blackheads, and they don't come from underneath the skin, they just all of a sudden appear on the surface. Those are usually fungal. Those are fungal infections, and they kind of one disappears, but then one or two pops up before. And what I noticed, or what I've studied, Paul Chek specifically, he's one of the biggest holistic health specialists in the country, maybe in the world. I don't know exactly, but he's really successful and he's really knowledgeable. I learned about fungal infections and parasite infections, and that they feed off sugar. The fungus do. So I've been eating low sugar, as little sugar as I can, because I noticed that a couple times when I was eating a whole lot of fruit, just because I had fruit to eat, I ate a ton of it, and then all of a sudden I get these kind of outbreaks. And I've noticed that when I don't eat fruit, then this thing is actually smaller than the kind of breaks that I had before. I don't get as many red spots on my arm, because I had some acne on I had some stuff on my upper arm, but that's all improving. But the other thing I've been doing is walking a lot, because probably because I need to do some kind of activity, some kind of exercise, since I'm not really pushing myself much. And walking is really good because it doesn't really tear down your muscles, it doesn't really tax your structures, your bones, your ligaments as much, and take up your resources. But it still gives you kind of a cardiovascular exercise. You're still moving a lot. And sometimes I put in sprints. I walk and then I do like some interval sprints, especially once my SI joint was getting better, that I could actually do it well without pain. So I'd sprint up a hill and walk. And I wouldn't push myself too hard, but just do that sort of thing. Don't jog. This is kind of so many things I could be talking about, but I'm just going to mention don't jog. Jogging with short steps it's not very efficient for your goals, but it's not how you're supposed to move, and you could end up getting that's actually how a lot of people get knee pain, is that if they jog with short steps, because you're not getting that much. You're putting a lot of your jump is coming up and down. You're having a lot of lateral force from gravity going up and down, but your lack of range of motion isn't letting your hips and your ankles, or wouldn't let your hips and ankles get into absorb the shock as much. Especially your hips. Your calves might get tight as well if you jog short steps, depending exactly how you do it. But either walking or sprinting, or if you're going to jog, do it with long strides is the best, not short strides. But anyways, so I've been walking, and the best times to walk I found is before or after meals, especially if you're trying to get blood sugar low, like I am. Blood sugar low after eating a meal. Well, after eating meals, it's really good to walk after eating a meal, because you're getting kind of a moderate intensity exercise, because your body has to use energy. Your body uses a lot of energy to digest the food that you eat and get the nutrients, absorb the nutrients. And so if you walk at the same time, then that raises your capacity of work that you're doing, and it gives you kind of a better exercise actually. It works your body a little bit more. Plus, the energy that you're digesting is more of it's gonna be used up instead of stored as fat, and it's gonna help your metabolism as well. So I walk before or after eating, especially in keeping your blood sugar low for me to get rid of fungal infections if you particularly have any yourself. That's been really helpful. I've noticed just from my anecdotal experience. But what else I've been focusing on while I walk is my breathing again. I noticed breathing. I mean, when I started to breathe right, I had this massive surge of energy for weeks and months. That's when I started to push myself really hard until I eventually injured myself. But breathing I've noticed it's helped me in a lot of ways too. It's actually, my teeth are getting straighter, because I think I used to clench my teeth a lot, just because they were, I don't know, they're slanted kind of. When I'd clamp, they'd slide against each other, the top and the bottom when I clamp them shut. But now they fit almost perfectly. I don't know if they fit almost perfectly, but there's almost no sliding. There's very little compared to how it was, and I can actually see them moving in. Like, they used to kind of pop out some, my bottom and my top teeth, but now they're straightening line downwards too, instead of being diagonal popping out. So that's real cool. I've been flossing more and making them wider, but it helps your breathing. What I'm also focusing on, that I like I mentioned in one of my early videos, Fix Your Voice video. Breathe to calm and center yourself. Keep yourself calm, grounded, as Elliot Hulse says. So, what else was that? Oh, and my fungal infections are improving. I don't know if breathing's helping that, but warn you, I'm going to show you my toenail and how it should probably give you an example of how that's actually helping me. What I'm saying and what I'm doing is working. So, warn, I'm going to show you my toenail. It's not that bad, so don't be scared.
Let's see. So that's my big toe, and you can see that the top of it's yellow, the bottom it's white, and the white means that your body's kind of fighting off infections. Like, if you see any white marks, white streaks on your fingernails or your toenails, it means your body's fighting infections. So this top half is going to be gone. All the yellowness, yellow fungus is going to be gone once it grows out and I cut it off. These two already healed a long time ago. See, you also notice that my toes are kind of swollen, because actually that last winter when I was working on my games and all that, I was sitting a lot and I had another kind of infection. But my pinky toe and my index toe, they're kind of screwed because they have there's a bunch of stuff growing underneath them. There's a lot of stuff growing underneath them that's pushing the nail up, and it's allowing the fungus to get oxygen and to grow. So I don't know exactly how to fix that. I need to look it up. Maybe go get a pedicure or something. But these two toenails were fixed. A bunch of the toes of my other foot were fixed, and hopefully there are only the 4 left. My pinky and index toes were traumatized. They were stubbed and it screwed up the nail, and now the fungus has free reign pretty much. But my athlete's foot is getting better too. I've had it since I was 6 or 7 years old. I got it from my dad. And I know when I was a kid, I ate a lot of sugar. I ate a ton of sugar. A lot of sugar. I had those Otter Pops. What else? I would just have teaspoons of sugar. Just get a spoon and get some white refined sugar and just eat it straight. And that was really bad. And I have a somewhat of a small history of diabetes in my family. So genetically, I think I'm predisposed, if I have too much sugar, to getting fungal infections. So I'm clearing them out. I'm correcting all that right now through walking, breathing, and eating less sugar, or no sugar. I'm trying to eat no sugar for the most part, most of the time. But anything else, walking is amazing. Do it a lot. Walking, sprinting, don't jog short steps.
And yeah. Alright, thanks for watching. Oh, also, next video I'm going to talk about maybe is deep squatting. Deep squatting is awesome once you figure out what you fix your hips and your ankles and you can squat deep and hold it. I just started doing that recently once my SI joint was fixed and doing proper form, and I've got another burst of energy from that. I don't know, I've heard it increases your hormones. It helps your hormone levels, productivity. So I'm gonna maybe go over something like that later and how you can improve your squatting, deep squatting. All right, thanks for watching. Adios.